We are live, man.
We've been live this whole time. People just been looking at me.
No. We are live right now. Zoom lies to you. It tells you it's live. We are good. We got the countdown. I always want to make a double check, though. After all this time, I still need to make sure I never believe it. Guys, happy Thursday. I'm pumped. Ready to rock and roll. This is going to be an absolute blast. We got one of my favorite entrepreneurs here on tonight. Known him for about a year and a half now, quite a while, Frank, since we started hanging out in the Business Not BS days. This guy is a badass. I'm always super jealous of his systems, his processes, things that are not in my main skill set. But they're one of the most important things that you can have within your business. Systems, processes, good VA help, good trainings. Tonight, we're going to talk about a lot of those things. We recently did a training for the Private Crusaders group, and it was so well received that we had to bring him out here to the big one. The man, the legendary Mr. Frank Salas. Dude, go ahead and introduce yourself for those who don't know you, man.
Yo, what's up? My name is Frank Salas. I go by the name of Talented Mr. Salas. If you guys don't know who I am, I take full responsibility. That's my fault. Look, I travel the world. I run my business from my phone and my laptop. Currently, I'm in Bali, Indonesia. I rented out a villa here with a few other online entrepreneurs. Dude, check it out. It's sick. We got a little rice paddy. We got a little, separate little Balinese style compound. I got my boy Yeoman over here with a little koi pond. So we got some kois in there.
Every time, man, you're always in a new spot around the world. Make me jealous. I got my sweet office. I got a sick poster behind me, out here in Utah. That's awesome, man. Love it.
Yeah, so I'm in several different businesses, and a lot of people always ask me, how are you in so many businesses? I'm really in just one business, and I'm in the business of helping people. I just got different methods to do that, and I've got a lot of systems, processes, but most importantly, people to run those systems and processes for me. So I really want to talk to you guys today about leverage, how to grow your business. And I have a marketing agency. This marketing agency is one of my service-based businesses that I use to generate cash flow. With this cash flow, instead of paying Uncle Sam on taxes, I take that cash flow and I put it into real estate investment vehicles all over the world. I love multifamily units, and I do that every single year. So every single year, my nest egg gets bigger and bigger and bigger while appreciating in value, while generating monthly cash flow. And that's how I play the game. So if any of that stuff is interested in you, pay super close attention, because we're about to just go right in how I do that with my marketing agency to help me build up my cash flow.
Nah, man, that doesn't sound interesting at all. Cash flow, building stuff, equity, traveling the world, Bali, Indonesia. I bet that nobody's interested in that. Guys, give me give a heart or something if you want to hear about. Frank's going to talk about how he does this, some sick processes, systems that we're going to do, some great action strategies here that you can be able to take away. So get pumped up, Frank, man. I'm going to turn it over to you. Do you have a presentation for this one?
Of course, man.
Always fucking do. This guy, man, every time I've ever had him on for anything, he's like, dude, I got this PowerPoint. It's built out. I'm ready to rock. I'm like, shit, man, this is awesome. I'm going to turn it over to Frank for a minute. I'll be jumping in, Frank, when I notice some things. But, guys, ask questions. I'll be checking the questions. We'll be chatting, going back and forth here. So this is going to be cool.
You got it. Hey, guys, by the way, I'm talking to my fellow soldiers. You guys have a marketing agency. I have a marketing agency. A lot of stuff that Nick's sharing with you is helping you generate revenue. You should particularly pay close attention if you're generating revenue now and you're doing a lot of the work, a lot of the customer service, a lot of the fulfillment. So really pay close attention, because if you're seeing success now with Nick's systems, he's got an awesome private group. Make sure you go there to help get your cash flow right. This requires systems, processes, and people aren't free. People can't eat love. People can't eat likes. So if you're generating revenue and you've got some meat coming to your tribe, hey, you might want to break off some of that meat and bring in another tribe member. So this presentation is called Scale Your Marketing Agency. Like I said, I'm Frank Salas, Talented Mr. Salas. Want to share with you guys that this is going to be talking about how to multiply your resources. I'm going to show you how to take your money and buy other people's time and energy. Now, you can hire people in America, and that's fine. That's a choice that you have. I challenge you to look at the world as your global pool of talent. So most people on planet Earth work for about $100 a week. I'm talking people who are college educated, who have Netflix, who watch The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, who watch Saved by the Bell, who watch Game of Thrones, The Walking Dead. They have all the Xbox games. They play Grand Theft Auto. They listen to the new Drake song, the new Justin Bieber song, the new Taylor Swift song. They probably sing it better than you do. These people exist all over the world, and they just happen to live in a place where it's less expensive. For example, if you're out in California versus you being in Florida, you're going to be paying two different prices. It's just geographic. Places on planet Earth are more expensive. Now, that being said, keeping it in America, if you're in California and if you're in Florida, Oklahoma is going to be way cheaper. Montana is going to be way cheaper. Idaho is going to be way cheaper for you just because of the geographic region. So I urge you to think of, how can I run a mobile business? Because what do you do? You're on your phone and your laptop. Do you really have to be in an office? Do you really have to be in some physical place? Not really. You can really get your business done from different parts of the world. It does take discipline, it does take processes, and it does take system. So what I'm going to talk to you about is how to multiply your resources. Take your money and buy other people's time and energy. Every millionaire, every billionaire excels at this. There's no billionaire, no millionaire who's like a solopreneur. Doesn't exist. Elon Musk, he's got a team. Everybody, Mark Cuban, he's got a team. They take their money and they buy other people's time and energy. So if you're running a marketing agency, there's tasks that are detrimental to what it is that you do every single day. First and foremost, email. Man, email is such a low investment. I could email somebody, they could email me back, and it's just a back and forth thing. Hey, do you want to meet? Actually, yes, I do. What time is good? Oh, we can meet at this time, or we can meet at that time. Oh, that doesn't work for me. These are like 6 or 7 back and forth emails that maybe you spent 30 minutes, and yes, it's a lead, but how many more people could you have talked to within those 30 minutes? This is the biggest one. I find that a lot of people, Nick, whore out their calendar to people. They're like, let's jump on a call. Let's jump on a call. Let's jump on a call. Like, whoa, slow down, man. Yeah. Only talk to people who can pay you. I don't like when people take unnecessary phone calls, and that's the first thing that I do when I work with people is I eliminate their unnecessary phone calls. You only want to talk to people who can pay you, and this is called lead qualification. I have my team, my virtual assistants, also my systems and my processes remove that and put up a barrier, because I don't want to whore out my calendar. I want to live my awesome life here in Bali or Medellin or Mexico or Spain, or even when I'm back home in Texas, seeing my family. So this is something that's really, really important to me. I never take unnecessary phone calls. Another thing that's detrimental to marketing agencies is data entry. So scraping leads, invoicing, just paperwork, putting stuff in your lead tracker, little things like that. But the biggest thing, and what I find stunts most people, maybe you can, speak to this a little bit, is being personally available 24/7. Once you provide the service as a CEO, as an executive, your duty is to bring in business. Your duty is to bring in money and then get the hell out of the way so other people can service and take care of the money, so you can go give more money to pay for the people that are servicing people.
And what he's saying, guys, you got to learn how to sell. What's my favorite thing to talk about over here? Go sell, bring home the business, and set it up so that other people can take care of it, so you're not doing the menial task, or the menial task, the shit that is easy, that you can repetitive, that can be done over and over. This is so powerful, especially once you start getting a few clients, as Frank had talked about. As soon as you have like 3 or 4 clients, you need to be paying attention to this. Like, you really need to be thinking about this. As soon as you got any type of cash flow ready to start getting help, especially with some of these things, especially lead scraping and leads at the beginning. That's the number one thing, priority to get rid of, man. So keep going, dude. But learn how to sell, guys. It's really important.
Yeah, and so Nick's got a program for you guys. Like, I've already worked with a few of Nick's students. Like, everybody that comes to me and says, Frank, I'm already making revenue. My life sucks. I got all this money. I got all these clients, but all I do is work. And I was like, I got just the thing for you. So if you're at that point, or you're anticipating getting to that point, remember Dr. Stephen Covey, begin with the end in mind. Go through the training programs, learn how to sell. And as you're learning how to sell, think about, do I have a system for this? Do I have a process for this? How is this going to serve me long-term? So today I want to talk about 3 ways to scale your agency. First and foremost, like Nick said, add new revenue streams, increase profit, and eliminate expenses. I'm going to go break those down individually right now. So if we're talking about adding new revenue streams, first and foremost, a lot of us sell, lead generation, or I can do your Facebook ads. Who does your ads? Who does your ads? Who does your ads? And so is every other 19-year-old kid who saw the Ty Lopez 30-second promotion on their YouTube channel or on whatever sites that they're on. They're like, oh, I got a marketing agency. Everybody's got a marketing agency now. Cool. I do Facebook ads. That's such a niche thing. Driving traffic, such a niche thing. And guess who needs traffic? Guess who needs leads? People who need leads are businesses probably somewhere under $500,000 in annual revenue with maybe a 3 to 15% annual profit, which really means they're making, 15 to about 50 grand. You don't really know how much meat is on the bone on those kinds of people. So if that person needs leads and they work with you for 2 or 3 months and it has medium, moderate, or even slight success, they're like, I'm not seeing the return on investment, and I'm just going to go buy a course for $1,000 and try to figure out how to do this myself and cut you out of the picture. And you're like, damn. And so now you're constantly churning through clients. What I'm suggesting to you, and something that I'm doing in my agency, is I'm adding new revenue streams. And the most important one is branding. A lot of people don't have graphics. A lot of people don't have videos. A lot of people don't really know how to put themselves out there. And this is an expertise that we can share. So I just want to give you just an example and give you some ideas to really spark your creative juices of things on how I actually grow businesses. So this is my branding onion presentation. I actually share this with executives, CEOs. I have a training on this on my YouTube channel. And what I do is I break down the branding onion. What does a brand actually look like? So we have the core of the brand. Where's their head? Where's their heart? The proof in the pudding. How does a brand walk and talk? And I actually break down this concepts. And more importantly, I help businesses really flush this out for their organization. They pay me top dollar. This is a $25,000 minimum package, not including videos, not including graphics, not including any kind of design, no copywriting, nothing like that. And so now what I do every single day, and actually it's not me, it's my team, because I have systems, because I have processes. Here's a massage therapist who paid us $1,000 for one logo. All they did was pay us for one logo like this. My graphic designer makes $300 a month. I'm going to say that again. My graphic designer makes $300 American per month. And we work together and we have a system. And our system looks like this. So we have a form that we use. We send this over to the client. We say, hey, here's a form, fill this out. They put down what's in their brain, because most entrepreneurs don't really know what's in their brain. And, oh, I had this idea, but they've never put it down on paper. So we make them put it down on paper. I don't advance until we put it down on paper with the client. And then from there, we get something that looks like this. This is our very, very first logo that we did. And the client hated it. They're like, oh my God, that's ugly. I hate this. That's not even what I said. Oh my God. I was like, but I like the color. So now we got something. Then we got this, which is version 2.
What kind of massage parlor is that, bro? A blonde walks in and gives you the best massage of your life.
This is Miss Tia Webster. She's actually a celebrity massage therapist in Dallas. So she's really big with a lot of artists. And yeah, so she stands out. And all her entire team is blonde.
Yeah. Interesting.
And so this is what we do. This is cash flow. This is helping me pay for other salaries, helping me pay for ad spend. I didn't have to do anything to this. All I had to do was take a 30-minute sales call, sell her on this, and now we have extra revenue coming in. I do smaller projects like this all the time to really beef up my stats. Here's another logo that we did. And so this is just more branding stuff. Now this is just logo design. You can have that, and that's just a system. I have the system set up to where I don't ever work with it again. This is helping me pay for my ad spend, my travels. We've got a bunch of other stuff. Here's one of our waxing clients who we did a whole entire meme project with to really convey their brand messaging and really get it out there. So it's like the waxing client is a wonderful client because she can be very loyal. This is a specific ad to estheticians, and we want them to buy our wax. And then we've got that. So that's B2B. We also have B2C. When you cross your legs in the winter, and that's in their brand, blah, blah, blah. We help them with the messaging, the marketing. When your lip hair waves at me, it's time to wax. So we're really conveying how they walk, how they talk, what their brand sounds like. Now, for me, this is really fun. For you, this might really suck, and you might want to have a creative director. For me, this is in my zone of genius, and this is high ticket. So this whole branding thing for me, for this one particular business was...
Well, hold on one sec, Frank. Dude, go back to the Trello build really quick. I want to ask everyone who's on and get engaged really fast. Guys, First off, are you familiar with Trello? Are you familiar with the Sonic? Let me know in the comments if you're using a project management tool right now. Like, look how cleaned up this is for client all the way across these first things. This is what you're going to need to have in your business to really scale and grow, or else the whole thing's going to fall apart. Trust me, I've done it. I've actually broken businesses moving, too fast, getting a couple $100,000 in revenue, trying to run it all on Google Sheets. Didn't work out very well, right? We had some issues. So this stuff is so powerful. Let me know if you guys are using any type of project management tools right now.
Yeah, and that's key. We're going to talk about that here in the agency HQ. Here we're even doing web design. So check this out. My graphic designer makes the design. My web developer, separate guy, gets this, and all they do is code. I never asked my web developer to make graphics. I never asked my web designer to make code. Everybody has their own job. It's like that meme. You only had one job. And that's how, what I call the Henry Ford effect. In the Henry Ford factories at Ford Motor Company, one person built steering wheels, one person built tires, one person built rims, one person put the rims on the tire, and they only had one job. And because they had one job, they did it very, very well. So that's just one way to add revenue. That for me, that's been the highest ticket, is branding. Once I started to put a creative team on my belt, that's been super high ticket because no one can do it. Nobody can do it. So, and I'm going to break down the cost, but my graphics guy is $300 a month, full-time, 40 hours a week. That's $1.77 per hour. My video editor is $400 a month. That's $2.50 an hour. And I'm billing them out like crazy. And I got a whole team of those guys. Now, lead gen's been great. I've got my own telemarketing, my own cold email, even my own cold faxing for a lot of these people who are doing B2B sales. This has been clutch for me. And I pay somebody about $400 a month just to run that. And I bill out somewhere between $2,000 and $5,000 monthly recurring revenue to generate leads. I build a system, I write the copy, and I put it out there. I'm the brain, the team is the arm and the legs. So I'm not personally running that system. My systems are always working. Now, I did have to set it up. Now the systems that are there, every time we get a new client, we've got templates. Like you said, we niche down. I know in your program you teach to niche down vertically. So I have a niche of medical malpractice insurance. I have a niche of real estate professionals. And so now that I've already got the converting emails, faxes, text messages, phone scripts, now I just put the right people in the right process with the right system, and I just sell that like crazy, and I never, ever deal with it one bit.
Damn. It's so clean. I love it. Guys, this idea, this concept of being able to take something you're good at and turn it into a system or process, as soon as you learn selling, which in my opinion is still the number one most important skill, this is right there at number 2. Being able to take what you can do and turn it into a process or system is the key to scaling. It is the key to getting out of the solopreneur stage. It is the key to really getting to that freedom that most of us got in this stuff for, right? In this whole online game. Most of us want to travel, go around, do these types of things. Having systems and processes is key. And it's even more important if you're running remote teams, remote workers, things like that, because that's even more difficult to put things together. So being able to systematize, process, look at how Frank's doing these types of things, seeing the back end of what something like this looks like, so valuable, guys. Like, you want to work towards this. This is a skill set you're going to want to learn, especially once you start getting clients on regularly and able to sell.
Absolutely, man. And so another revenue stream for you guys is creative. So video, graphic, and web. Just want to give you an idea on the web guy. My web guys cost about $600 a month, and I sell out their websites at a minimum $5,000. So I'm getting a huge ROI on that, huge ROI. Now, up next is research. One of the things that I offer for an extra revenue stream is I'll go up to a big company, maybe a franchise, somebody who's making 7 figures, and I'm saying, hey, do you want us to steal what your competitors are doing? Do you want us to go through their funnel hack them? Do you want us to go through their email list? Do you want us to steal their emails? Do you want us to call up in there and just see what is their products offers? Do you want us to spy on your competitors? Everybody who makes 7 figures or more, they're like, yes, I would love to see what they're doing, because we want to take what's working and modify it and apply it to our business. And they will pay a premium for that, because what we do is provide really documented research on their competitors. Anybody who's under $500,000, they're like, oh no, that doesn't seem ethical, or oh no, whatever reason that they have. Anybody's making stacks, they love spying on their competitors. And then finally, if you're really creative, if this is truly in your zone of genius, if you just want to create a strategy on how to create unique campaigns. For example, in Florida, I was working with a senior healthcare company. They wanted to engage me as a consultant. And what they did is they provided, elderly people, senior people with home care. So instead of somebody going to a nursing home, they wanted to be at home, have that independence. And what we did, creative strategy, this is back when Colin Kaepernick was kneeling down in the NFL. And so what we did, as I said, yo, here's an ad idea. We're going to do this to all the people who are 55 and up in this area on Facebook. And we're going to have a video that says, should athletes kneel? And so I paid Facebook to show that to people who are Democratic. And then everybody who's Democratic is like, oh yes, they should express their freedoms and blah, blah, blah. They got that whole thing just riled up with bait is what I called it. Then I marketed to the conservative people, and the conservative people started arguing with the people that were Democratic. And now, because of the way the algorithms works, now organically for free in that area in front of all their friends, family, and neighbors, they're having a conversation about that particular topic. And it says, this message is brought to you by this senior healthcare company. And now they're getting leads because they're staying relevant, they're staying engaged, and we hack the system. That's a unique campaign that I charge a premium for that generated results to my clients. So if that's fun, if you like that kind of stuff, just wanted to really stretch your mind and really talk about how that strategy can really help you out. Finally, or secondly, is increasing profit. A lot of people, who have an agency, man, you're leaving a lot of meat on the bone internally. So it's really time to see what you can do to double down on what's working. So every month, man, I always have analytics for myself and for my clients. The best way to keep a client, I find a lot of people can sell, but they can't really keep a client. If you start providing analytics to your clients and have an assistant or have a team member do analytics for your clients, and if they're getting a report every week, every month saying, hey, here is our bottom line, or here's our impact to your bottom line. Here's how we helped you out. Here's how we grew this. Here's how many leads. Here's what the cost per click is. Here's what the cost per customer acquisition is. Here's how big your email list is right now. Once they see that, once they see the results, then when the invoice comes, they got no problem paying it. They got zero problem paying it. And everybody here probably has some kind of way to lead generate right now. So if you're looking to increase your profit and you have a lead generation system that works, do more of that.
Yeah. And this is huge, man. I want to jump in because it's really, really important to share this type of stuff with your clients and talk about how it's stacking over time as well, right? When you're building that email list, explain to them the power of that. Explain to them the power of what it's like when you're going to send an email blast out in order to get a lot of those people back on for the offer, or doing the retargeting on Facebook, and how this is just a stacking effect. It really does help provide retention long-term, because you need to take it more than just like the initial lead. We need to understand that these people need to be nurtured. They need to be built up. We need to have a leads. We need to have our entire email list here that you're continually building out, and start selling the client on the long term. That does help a ton with retention and having analytics tools. A great one that homie Mark Morality pointed out was Whatagraph. It's cheap, it's easy, it gives nice analytic reports. That's something you can use. And then also talk about how many leads you're generating and what your follow-up strategy is on those leads. And if you don't have a follow-up strategy for your leads, I would recommend getting one, whether that's an email follow-up or a retargeting strategy on Facebook, whatever. Absolutely critical to start selling these guys in the long term, and how this is a momentum effect and everything's stacking.
Love it, man. Love it, dude. So yeah, 100%, man. 100%. So the next thing is lead generation. I always call lead generation strategies hooks. So if you have one hook in the ocean, you might get a shrimp, you might get a bass, you might get some tuna, you might get a dolphin sometimes you might get a shark, and sometimes you might land a whale. And if you have 10 hooks out there, you might 10x your results. So I want to show you literally how I'm getting my profit for my agency increase for my different agencies. Every single day, I have 5,000. I repeat, 5,000 emails going out. This is in my sent box. Wow. Like clockwork. This is for my recruiting agency. Every single day, I have 5,000 emails going out. I wake up to new leads. I wake up to new prospect. I wake up to new qualified, I repeat, qualified sales prospects who have already gone through my qualification purpose or a process. They have a sense of urgency. They have financial wherewithal. They're ready to go to the next steps. They already know my offer. They've already seen my pricing, and they still want to meet with me. There is zero questions. It's 100% transparency of what it is that we're doing. This is just today. This is just today, man. From one email, I'm doing 1,000 emails per email. I find that if you do more than 1,000 cold emails per email, dude, Google starts to,
yeah, 1,000. I mean, thousands a lot. Just see, guys, when you're doing this is awesome. Get it set up. But before you go blast 1,000 emails a day, make sure you know a little bit about email deliverability. This is sick, Frank. I love it, being able to do this. But yeah, you can get blasted and you can get blacklisted doing this many emails if you don't warm up your domains. And there's a lot of other factors that we'll talk about some other time. But this is awesome, bro.
So that's one way that I am doubling down on my lead generation. I'm not even talking about my cold faxing, my phone calls, my packages, my following up on LinkedIn, none of that. That's just one thing that I'm doubling down on. And guess what? I only have one team with dedicated people that only do that. I have 3 team members that send out emails. I have 1 team member that looks at the emails that are sent out and that are engaged. So if they come here, who's opening up my stuff? Who's clicking on my links? Yeah. That's a hot lead. And then we come over here can you still see my screen?
No, we can't.
How about now?
I think we can now.
All right, cool. So then I come over here and take a look at this. This guy opened up this email. This is to a medical malpractice insurance company. The subject that I have is, I have your doctor's check. Oh, 100% open rate. Anybody who has, just great. It's just great. And so that's how we know who's a hot lead. There's another one. And I just send that to my team. And so this is me actually checking it. I need a meeting with this company. All I did was take a screenshot and put it into my Slack channel. This goes into our agency HQ, which I'm going to jump into right now. So a referral system, if you guys don't have at least 3 ways to get referrals, man, you got to build that up and then have people and processes to get that on there. Improve your efficiency. We're going to talk about that later, but the faster that you do this, the more output that you have, the more opportunity you have. I don't believe in luck. I believe in massive action. I believe in strong preparation, systems and processes to really, really get it done. So which leads me for the final way to increase your profit and scale your agency as a marketing agency. First and foremost, your payroll. Man, this is the biggest thing. If you're hiring anybody in your country, you got to pay compliance, healthcare. You got to put a lawyer on retainer, unemployment insurance, payroll taxes, Obamacare, Trump tax, state tax, local tax. The local comptroller saying, oh, you got 10 employees now? We're going to tax you at another bracket, because everybody got to get paid. So there's other people all over the world who will work for literally 90 to 95% less than what you're paying your onshore American, Canadian, New Zealand, Australian, or Western European staff. There's people in Central America, South America, Africa, the Caribbean, Eastern Europe, India, Asia, that will work for your business for $20 a day. $20 a day gets you full-time help. There's nobody who does that in your countries. So really look at your payroll. Then look at your bottlenecks. Most people are their own bottlenecks. The reason most companies haven't gone to that next level is because they're standing in their own way. Every human being has a limited capacity. And if you can only by yourself work with 3 to 5 clients, which I found has been the number, then you can't work with 10 people, because something's going to give. Either your quality is going to fall off, your deliverable is going to fall off, something's going to fall off, and then you're going to go to Refundville. And Refundville is ugly. They got lots of lawyers there. They got lots of lawsuits. They got lots of chargebacks. It's disgusting in Refundville. And you could have eliminated it if you just committed to systems and processes, and more importantly, the right people to put those in place. And then I challenge you to cut the fat. How many softwares are you actually using? Are there cheaper softwares that you can use? I'm a big fan of the MVP, minimum viable product. I want to take the minimum amount of resources to get the maximum amount of return. So look at your softwares. All these softwares that have name brand or branding, there's other competitors that do what they do for free, for freemium, or even for a lot less, maybe even half off. So look at the new softwares that are, I'm constantly switching softwares, because I know somebody out there is hungrier, who provides more value with better support, that's going to get those same exact features and more, and that I can build a relationship with. They're also probably going to have, just a better overall service and answer their tickets quicker. So that's what I love about working with softwares. I like to cut the fat. And then employees, man, again, seriously, Nick, if you go to a car wash and you see somebody with a white face and you see somebody with a brown face, who do you think is going to do a better job when they wash your car? Straight up, man. Straight up. You know the answer to the question. You know the answer to the question, bro.
Oh, man, I love it. I've heard you say that one a bunch of times, dude. I love it. One thing I will say, dude, one thing I'll jump on with the cutting the fat, for those of you who have been running agencies for a while, you got stuff. We got a little lackadaisical with that. We saved $2,400 a freaking month 2 months ago when we went through our expenses. So now we're going through every 60 days to check things and cut it out, because we cut out like 500 old tracking lines from clients, things like that. It's really important. And then also audit what you're using. Are you getting, what you need from it? Dubsado is one of the programs that Frank's using here. It's badass. I absolutely love it. I've gotten introduced to it with Sema. And it's really, really powerful. So, definitely be on the lookout for new softwares. And Frank has a good point. Most software, the big softwares, their support is atrocious. It's legitimately the worst thing I've ever seen. I don't understand why support is so bad with all big software companies. So being able to actually have good support is worth it for me, so I think that's a big point. Definitely stuff to be, really considering here in order to run lean and to really take home some good profits, because it's not always about what you make, it's about what you keep, at the end of the day, and how your lifestyle is. Everyone's got different goals, different lifestyles. So this stuff's really, really important, guys, to consider as you're growing your agencies.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And yeah, Dubsaddle's the homie, man. I got a free training on my YouTube channel, 90 minutes, absolutely free, of how I step-by-step break down how to set up an automated everything, invoice, proposal, agreements, packages, offers, scalable, everything. Absolutely free on my YouTube channel. You can look me up, Talented Mr. Salas. And it's been the biggest thing that I've ever done. It's made specifically for marketing agency owners, freelancers, and service providers. Now, one of the best ways that I found to eliminate expenses is time tracking. Check this out. This is my video guy right now. I know what my video guy is doing right now in this moment. I know that he can't be bullshitting me. He's working on my videos right now. And these are videos that I put up online that I market. These are my retargeting videos. These are my brand awareness, personal brand videos. I put these on my Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. These are super important. I'm working with the videographer every single day here in Bali, Indonesia, doing a mass amount of creative content, because I know that it's very, very valuable for me to grow my brand. If I'm going to be investing my time, energy, and money into that, I need to know that these guys got my back. I don't need somebody slacking. So I like to see what exactly that he's doing. Like I'm doing an epic Bali restaurant tour of all the restaurants here in Bali, and using that for lead generation and lifestyle brand awareness. So for me, it's easier to set standards than it is to raise them later. If you got an existing staff and you expose them to this, they're going to be like, oh no, this sucks, man. This job used to be so cool. And now I actually have to work. Now I have to actually earn my paycheck. Oh my God. And you're going to find that the people who are down with you, they got no problem with this. They're actually going to be happy. The real people who are really down for your growth, they're going to say, yes, we've been needing this because Betty in HR has been sitting on her fat ass watching Netflix in the office every single day. Jimmy's been going to poop for 3 hours a day and been on his phone watching memes in the office building that we have, and we ain't been getting no work, and I've been having to pick up his slack. So you're going to find that all the soldiers are out there right now. So I want to share with you one of my assistants that's working with me right now. This is one of my girls. Take a look at her. She's probably reaching out to my leads for me. Look at there. She's scheduling up appointments for me, checking my calendar, handling all my messages, checking my email, all that. That's stuff that I'm not having to do. Those are low-level tasks that I don't have to do. And I know what they're doing every 2 minutes. Here, 6:46, 6:48, 6:51, 6:54, 6:55, 6:58, 7:01, 7:03, 7:05. I also track their keyboard movement, their mouse movement. So if their activity level is less than 80%, that's 80, they do not qualify for salary for that pay period. And they have to sign for it on their agreement. They know what's up. It's easier to set a standard now than it is later. If you set a standard later, they're like, oh, this is unfair. And you get a lot of bitching and moaning. Then what do you got to do? Like the Art of War says, if your troops start to bitch and moan, you got to execute one of those motherfuckers and say, boom, this is how we do. And you got to let somebody go. Then everybody wises up. So then I track their apps, their websites that they're using. So if someone's looking at Netflix or, YouTube or, Amazon, man, we don't do that. We're not an Amazon company. There's no reason you should be on Amazon unless you're sending up follow-ups to a client from my account. Unless you're sending them packages or sending my girl some flowers or sending my girl some chocolates. There's no reason why you should be on Amazon on this thing. So that's a level of transparency that you should have. Once you do that, once you commit to that level of transparency, you are going to start to see that your team wises up and your expenses are going to go way down, because they're going to actually bring in more revenue. Another way that I have transparency there and I track my employees' time is take a look at this. Log in, working on this, finish doing this. This is our formula. Every single day, they have to talk about what it is that they did every single day, reaching out to VAs who got invited for the meeting to confirm their attendance. Let's look at right now, what's going on right now in this exact moment as I'm growing and scaling my businesses. Right now, Ruby just logged in. She's working on daily checklist number 4, checking the calendar. Christine is done with daily checklist number 4. She's replying with this, blah, 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 all of these things. At the end of every day, and here's a formula. They go logging in, working on A, finish with A, working on B, finish with B, working on C, stop working on C, need help from Nick ASAP for X, Y, and Z result, moving on to D. And at the end of the day, they said, this is what I did. Look at all the stuff that I'm getting. Look at all this value I'm getting every single day. Sending an invoice, replying to applicants, doing all this. How every day they have to answer, how did you pay for your salary today? Every day in front of everybody, in front of the entire tribe, everybody has to state how they pulled their own weight. It's easier to set standards now than it is to do it later. And if everybody's fully transparent, if everybody's bought in on the same mission, then that's the way that you scale your business, because there's nobody who has any kind of question of what you're doing. So final 2 ways to eliminate, and actually I'm going to hone that point in once more, because we have a daily report every single day. So we're looking at their screenshots. We're looking at their daily chat on our Slack channel. And every single day they send me a daily report like this. I don't ever read it. I never do. But I know exactly what they do every single day. And so at 5 o'clock or whatever time that their shift is out. See, I don't even read these. Every time their shift is off, it feels good that my little phone goes bing, and I see daily report from so-and-so. Bing, daily report from so-and-so. Bing, daily report from so-and-so. Full transparency. And they always have to answer, how did you pay for your salary today? Every single day. They got 5 shifts. They have to say 10 times a week how they paid for their salary every single day. How many times do you ask your employees, how are they paying for your salary? That's a normal question in my organization. A lot of people think, oh, Frank's a dick. He's asking his people how they're paying for his salary. No, that's a great question. How are you helping me pay for your salary, for your coworker's salary, for our pensions, for our work, our company travels? How are you helping us pay for this stuff? Are you a soldier? Are you bringing in meat for the tribe? Yes or no?
Yeah.
And then finally,
intense, man. Every time I see it, it's freaking intense. Look at these setups. It's crazy.
And then finally, the biggest thing is office space. If you're doing any kind of office space in the top 5 market, that's Canada, US, Western Europe, Australia, New Zealand, you're paying the top 0.001% for real estate on planet Earth. And all business can be done virtually. All of us are on our phones. All of us are on computers right now. There's nobody who's I'm not broadcasting through a conference. I'm not in America. I'm not even in your time zone. It's freaking 8 o'clock in the morning here in Indonesia, literally on halfway the other side of the world. I don't have to go to any conferences. I don't got to gas up my car. I don't even have a car. All I got to do is fire up my technology that costs me less than $1,000, one-time investment that I use every single day. So here's what it looks like. We talked about a lot of, systems and processes. Here's what it looks like to actually bring on people. So again, this is for somebody who's generating revenue. If you're not generating revenue, make sure you go to Nick's program. Nick's got an awesome program made specifically for marketing agency owners. I work with the students all the time. They're great. They're already making revenue. And once you're making revenue, once you're at the point where you're a bottleneck, once you identify yourself as a bottleneck, meaning, man, I've got 3 or 5 clients. I hate my life. I got money, but I can't ever spend it. I don't got time for taking my girl out dancing on Friday. I don't got time taking my girl out to dinner on Saturday. And I don't even got time to go see Jesus on Sunday. That's a bottleneck, man, because you're doing some work. So identify the bottleneck, which is you. Spoiler alert, it's you. Then you can either on your own or engage somebody like me. And the next step is to recruit. You got to go out and recruit people. Because recruiting works, you have to screen people. Then once you screen people, then you hire somebody. For myself and my clients, I'm a part of this every step of the way. I help you with the questions. I actually lead the questions. You just tell me which one you like. I interview them for you. I shake you down. I ask all the right questions like, hey, I know your kid's 3 years old. What happens when they get sick? Which, by the way, is a legal question to ask when you're hiring overseas. You hire in America, you can't ask those kinds of questions. You can't ask what if they're married. You can't ask their age. You can't ask who else lives in their house. It's illegal. They'll sue you. They'll put you like Bill Cosby in jail, man. You'll be eating pudding in prison. So once you hire somebody, then you got to onboard them. And onboarding is a two-way street. If you've never done this, if you've never operated virtually, you have to be onboarded yourself. You have to onboard existing staff. You have to onboard yourself, and you have to onboard your new staff. Then you start to train everybody. You train the entrepreneur, the executive, the existing staff, and the new staff. And then you have to allow everybody to fail, because when they fail, they learn. Then you train them some more. Then after a while, after that process repeats, them failing, them getting trained, then at some point, they'll be able to train others. And at that point, now you have a team member. So when I bring on a new recruit, I hire 7 people a day. I'm averaging 7 people a day that I'm hiring. Now I fire about 4 of them, and I only keep 3. Wow. But I'm hiring 7 people a day. There's a lot of turnover when I recruit at this level. So that being said, I never deal with anybody because I have legitimate team members that can train others. That's it. I just shake them down. I let them know, yo, this is our tribe. We're Spartans. If you want to be a Spartan soldier, you got to hold up your shield and you got to be a badass. You ain't trying to be a badass, you can't wear the Spartan colors. Any questions? Cool. Go talk to the Spartan trainers. And then I get out of the way and I never, ever, ever see them because they only deal with my team members. That's the value of having systems, processes, and most importantly, people. All business is made of people. So now we've been talking about all this stuff. I want to tell you some real life numbers. So this is fair market value for the global talent salary. For those of you guys who are thinking, how much is this going to cost? Straight up, there's an investment to a VA. There's an investment to a professional, somebody who provides medicine, food, shelter, water, clothes to their family members, just like they are in America or any of the other markets. However, they're cheaper. They're less expensive in different parts of the world. So for example, an admin person is going to run you maybe about $400 to $600 a month. This is for full-time work, by the way. A graphic designer will cost you about $400 to $800 a month full-time. I hope my graphic designer doesn't watch this because I'm paying her way less than the average. You know, I'm paying her less than fair market value. I got a great deal on her. I also found her in the armpit of the world and just super talented. We also have video editors that are $400 to $800 a month full-time. Web developers are $600 to $800 a month. Telemarketers are $600 to $800 a month as well. Would you pay $800 a month, $200 a week for somebody to make phone calls consistently, 300 phone calls every single day for your business? It might be worth it to you if you got the right amount of ticket. If you're selling peanuts, hey, you may not want to make that investment. What about a graphic designer? If you can bill out logos at $1,000 and they can bang out a logo in a day, only costing you $20 a day, and you're charging out $1,000 and you're making about $950, $960 on profit, even with revisions, that might be a good deal for you. Like Nick says, you got to learn how to sell it. What about websites? Would you pay $800 a month for full-time work? That's $200 a week. It takes my web developers a week to build out a website, start to finish with revisions, and I'm billing them out at $5,000. So it's costing me $200 for the week. I'm billing out at $5,000, and I'm making about a $4,500 profit. Straight cash, homie. That's 4% of a real estate deal right there. Now we're talking cash flow, guys. Now we're talking about less expenses, low overhead, higher margins. So this is something that I'm rolling with right now. This is a marketing agency revenue engine for less than $3,000. Now you can mix and match this however you want. You may want to have 3 graphic designers and no web developer. I'm just giving you an example of what's possible. So first and foremost, I strongly believe if you're just getting started, the first person that you need is to get an admin person. If you get an admin person to help you out with your admin duties, that frees up your time. And with your time, you can do 2 things. The first thing is sell. Sell like crazy. Bring in more business. Like Nick says, if you don't know how to sell, learn that shit right now. Go to Nick's program and he'll teach you how to sell. I work with the students all the time. Every one of those soldiers knows how to sell and bring revenue. Now, if you're not selling, then you should be working on your business. This is building systems. This is building processes. I actually teach my clients and my students how to build systems, how to build processes. I don't build them for you. I don't know your business. I'm not in your business. I'm in the business of building systems and processes. And so that's the very first thing you need to do is hire an admin person to free you up to sell more, to grow your business, and to work on your business. Not work in your business, not work on the day-to-day business, work on your business. The next person you might want to add is a graphic designer. That's $400. The next person may be a video editor. That's $400 as well. The next person might be a web developer at another $600. And then finally, you're like saying, man, I got all this team. I got a developer, I got an editor, I got a designer, I can make graphics, I can make videos, I can make websites. I got a full service here. Then you might want to hire a telemarketer and say, hey, these are my leads. My telemarketer, all I do is I say, yo, we're going after real estate agencies in Austin, Texas. Blow them up. Every week, they're calling the same agencies. Mr. Salas wants to meet with you. 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 My admin guys sending them emails. My admin guys sending them Facebook messages, Twitter messages, Instagram messages, LinkedIn messages. They're commenting on all their videos on YouTube. That's how we convert people to get on our leads. So here's what the marketing agency HQ looks like. And here's what the cost of it is. So this is the people. Remember, all business is made of people. And if you put the right people in the right system, then you get amazing results. So this is what the marketing agency HQ looks like. So the internal communications, that's free. I use Slack. Nick was talking about project management, Asana, Trello, Monday. These are all free or have freemium programs. This is what you need to actually make this whole virtual office work. What the water cooler in your office is replaced by this, which is more efficient, more transparent, and just better. My lead generation system only cost me $125 for the month. These are 3 separate cold email scrapers, autoresponders, just a bunch of different tools that I use to track my emails, see who's clicking on what, who's interested, sending out automated sequences, stealing emails from LinkedIn, stealing emails from websites, just nuts, man. My analytics only cost me $20 a month. My CRM, which is Dubsado. By the way, make sure you watch my Dubsado training on my YouTube page. Absolutely free, 90 minutes, step by step, specifically for marketing agencies on how to build it out. That's $25 a month. That's been the best investment I've done for any one of my service-based businesses. Time tracking. I just showed you my time tracker. Man, if you're not tracking your people's time every 2 minutes and they're online, you're fucking up, man, because they're wasting your money. They're taking your money and saying, oh, I'm rich, I'm paid. Oh, this is great, I got a job. But they ain't doing nothing for you. Monitor their stuff. You're gonna see who's there for you. You're gonna see who's really down for you. That's $7 per employee. That's the best management I've ever spent. The best $7 that I've ever spent. And then a virtual phone. A lot of people who are in offices are like, oh, but I can't give my phone number. Bro, what is the phone connected to these days? The internet. Just get a virtual phone. It's $75 a month. You can record all the phone calls. You can listen to your phone calls. All of my telemarketers that I have, I can listen to their phone calls and say, oh, let's talk about this. Or, hey, that was great. Or he can say, hey, we got a hot lead. Here's our phone conversation. So I can prep for the meeting a lot faster. So now you're like, oh man, this is great. This is great. Where do I start? First, any business that's ready to scale, if you just focus on these 5 things right here, you're going to get there. First, like Nick says, lead generation. If you can sell, then you just need more leads, and you got to have a full pipeline. And so how do you get a full pipeline? By phone calls, text, fax, email, social media, smoke signals, telegrams, snail mail packages, knocking on their doors. These are different ways that you could lead generate. Here's how I do it for my business. Straight up, every single day, we send out 5,000 emails a week. That's 35,000 emails. I'm sorry, what is that? That's 30, I can't even do math. Yeah, it is 35,000 emails a week. So like a little over 125,000 cold emails every single month. And from those people that click, open, or reply, positively or negatively, we then follow up with them like crazy according to our protocol. So let's say somebody opens up my email. That's a lead to me. They know who I am. I don't have to work to introduce to myself because they at least know my offer. They at least know my name. It's not an absolutely cold, dead email. So then anybody who opens up, my team then follows the procedure to text them, call them, fax them, email them again. Find them on Facebook, friend request them, send them a Facebook message. Find them on LinkedIn, request them, send them a message. Endorse all their skills every single day. If you add me on LinkedIn and you're one of my leads, every day you're getting an email from LinkedIn from me saying, Frank Salas has endorsed you for this. Frank Salas has endorsed you for this. Frank Salas has endorsed you for this. Frank Salas has left you a recommendation. Man, they know who the hell I am. They know what my offer is. And that takes a lot of time. So I hear you, but Frank, that takes so much time. I don't have time. Exactly. If we go back to the very beginning of the presentation, I want you to take your money, your resource, and buy other people's time and other people's energy to do all that. So when you do pick up the phone, you're only speaking to people that are interested in working with you. Now, what does that look like? That looks like lead qualification. That's the second thing that you should follow up, or second thing you should outsource. Because lead generation works, you're going to get a lot of leads. But I don't want you to whore out your calendar. And I hate when people say, let's get on the call. Let's get on the call. Let's get on the call. Yo, protect your time. You're never going to get that back. You're never, ever going to get your time back. So how can you protect your calendar is by qualifying your leads. Can I help this person? Do I even want to work with them? Man, I love working with Nick. I love collaborating with this guy. He's a soldier. He's just like me. We're very similar. He helps me grow. I help him grow. It's a very, very beneficial, mutually relationship. I want to work with people like Nick and his students because I know he actually helps them. I don't want to work with the Ty Lopez kids because they're not making any money. They just think they can. They don't have any money to afford for help. I only want to work with performers like Nick. Do they have a sense of urgency? Are they at the point where they have a lot of money? Are they at the point where they're not enjoying their lives? For me, that's an urgent lead. Yo, I know you have money and I know you don't have time and I know you don't have energy. I'm proposing that we take your money and we buy other people's time and energy so you have more money, so you have more time, so you have more energy. I only spend my time with people that are qualified, people that have the money, have the urgency, have a problem that I can solve. They don't have a problem. If they're looking for a new roof for their house, I'll be like, I'm no roofer. I don't do that. Go work with somebody else. I'm not going to even talk to you. And the third thing that you should do is lead conversion. If you're generating leads, if you're qualifying leads, then you got to set up the meeting and make sure that they show up. You have to do that. Every single one of my leads gets like 30 reminders. Everybody who's broke.
Bro, I'll jump in and tell you this. I got Facebook reminders, email reminders. Like, I mean, he's not even kidding when he says it's like 35. And it's funny, I actually just made a YouTube video on qualifying reminders and texting and sending people and calendar invites over and over again. It's what we got to do in this day and age. It's really, really important. Like if they get annoyed because you're reminding them, they're not going to do business with you anyways. Fuck them. You know, move on. Like most of the time they're happy about it because they're like, shit, I was so busy, I forgot, you know, all this stuff. So yeah, I got blasted.
And that's just my team following the system and protocols. I got the right people in the right place following the right system. And now here we are. We're showed up to the meeting. And so everybody who's broke, they complain, oh, that was so annoying. And everybody who rich says, oh, thank you. You know, I got to really maximize my hour before we met. And I got to get this little side project here. I got to make time for my staff. Good, man. Glad that we could be here. And then lead follow-up. Just because somebody meets with you doesn't mean that they're actually going to do business with you. So you got to follow up with them like crazy. And everybody that works with me, all of my team members, they go through a training that the minimum follow-up is 8 times to be followed up with. Minimum 8 follow-ups. Anything less than that is not a real follow-up. And then finally, paperwork. We use Dubsado. Again, you can go to my YouTube channel, check out that free training on how I automate my proposals, how I automate my invoices, and how I automate my agreements. So here's what it looks like. My team does a bunch of lead generation. My team qualifies those leads. My team makes sure they show up. I go on the sales call. My team then follows up with them and they send over the paperwork. So if, let's say Nick wants to do a deal with me, Nick says, Frank, I want your A package. All right, the A package is this price. I go to my Slack channel. I go to my proposals right in here. And I send over offers right in here. Here's a good example. I just take a screenshot right in here. And now my team knows what to do. We even broke down the payment schedule for them. We did a $75 deal. It was $2,500 down, $1,250 in 30 days, $1,250 in 60 days, $1,250 in 90, and $1,250 in 120 days. I can then go and take another sales call because I'm more efficient. I'm more quick. So if you're really interested in this, I have an outsourcing company called Sala Staffing. It helps you get your operations. It helps you get everything smooth and seamless. I literally scour the earth, and look at that logo. I go through the entire planet Earth. I don't care if you're a man. I don't care if you're a woman. I don't care if you're, red, yellow, teal, fuchsia, purple. I don't care what color you are. The only color that I care about is cold, dead American president green. That's my favorite shade of green. If you can help me get that, I don't care where you live. I don't care what your beliefs are. I need soldiers, and I recruit and train soldiers for people that already know how to generate revenue. So if that's something you're interested in, you can reach out to me. I'd love to open the floor for any questions that might be out, Nick.
Yeah, man, I love it, Frank. Thank you so much, dude. Got some great stuff in here, guys. Frank is the man. I've known Frank for a year and a half now. Worked with him, know people that worked with him. We've got Mark in the chat talking about how great he is. I'm bringing this on because Frank is just a beast in regards to systems, processes, getting things set up, right? And I always want to bring on people in here who can help, especially in areas that I might not be the biggest expert in. I'll be the first to admit this is not my biggest strong suit, but Frank's a badass, guys. That's what you want to work towards. Being able to sell, so important. And then after that, if you can build systems and processes for the things that you can sell, those are two of the biggest keys in all of business, guys. And you saw some of this stuff. I've still yet to this day seen anything cleaner than Frank's back end. Every time he opens it up, it freaking blows me away with all the shit he's doing. So Frank, man, I really appreciate you jumping on here and sharing some information. And showing people what it can look like, showing people what they can do, opening people's eyes to what's out there, the opportunities, what businesses do. It's just so good for people to understand and see what you can do, because while we have complete opposite businesses, Frank, there's options out there, right? I've got in-house, we've got 18 employees in an office over here, doing things differently, right? And there's different options depending on your lifestyle, what you want to do. And man, you got some sick systems and processes, the travel, all that good stuff. So guys, ask questions. If you've got any questions for Frank, let us know. Ravi, we just got another person who came on and said that, he's working with Frank, expert at systems and processes, all that shit. So Frank, if people want to get a hold of you, right, man, if they want to talk about some of this stuff, where can they get a hold of you, bro?
I'm going to send it to the link here. It's bit.ly/TMS Superstar Chat. Right there, bit.ly/TMS Superstar Chat, or they can email me, frank@talentedmrsalas.ph.
All right, let me put that in.
Hey, by the way, Nick, I've got one of my awesome VAs, Miss Christine, on the call. Just wanted to have her come and say what's up so you can just get a feel of what my peeps are like.
Yeah.
Christine, are you there? So, Christine, talk to us about what it is that you do for my organization.
Train, as well as getting reminders, following up leads, as well as lead generation.
I heard follow up, doing some leads, things like that.
Yeah, we lost your sound, Paul. We lost your sound.
Oh. Hold on 1 second, sir.
All right, cool.
All right, Frank, we got a question like that while she's getting set up here. Ultimus, are these graphic designers, telemarketers as skilled as those in more developed countries, despite costing less?
Yeah, absolutely. And even then, telemarketers, what do they really do? No telemarketer sells big high-ticket packages over the phone. All they're doing is selling time. So I tell my guys all the time, we don't discuss pricing. We don't discuss anything. All we're doing is selling time. That's it. Do you want to meet with the licensed realtor in Texas? Do you want to meet with the professional internet marketer? Do you want to meet with a professional global recruiter? Yes or no? Yeah. That's all they're doing. They're just making the calls that I don't want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll add to that. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some extremely skilled graphic designers. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can be good. And there's a lot of shitty, lazy American graphic designers as well that are way overpriced and suck. So there's a lot of issues. Same thing with web developers. So no matter where you are in the world, you can find great people. It's just all about finding the good people. And that's the key, right? Because there's a lot of people who aren't very good at what they do, and they're lazy. And the country tends to really treat that too, especially in America.
Awesome.
So Raul has got a question. Actually, real quick, Richard has a question. What is Frank's group's name again? Do you have a group, bro?
Yeah, it's called the Talent Tribe.
The Talent Tribe. Type that in here if you want to search that in Facebook. And then my man Raul, what's up, man? This is the homie Frank. Do you do the training for each skill set?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the thing is you want to systemize and compartmentalize your business. Everything is trained. All the executive assistants come with a baseline. So lead generation, database creation, lead follow-up, these kinds of tools. So Christine, what are some of the trainings that people go through? So Christine is our head trainer in the Philippines.
Yes. We train them with lead generation and also Instagram growth, as well as meeting reminders, calendar management, screenshot reporting, daily reporting, lead generation via Craigslist, and all that stuff.
Awesome. And so what about people who are on our video team or our graphics team? What kind of training do they have?
Trainings. Well, I follow up with them. I send them the clients, what the clients want, and then they send updates to us if there is an update. Also with video editing, transcriptions, and what else? Descriptions and all that stuff.
Awesome. Hey, I didn't mean to put you on the spot there, Christine. It's all good. So, Christine, you're actually working with me part-time, and you're working with one of our clients, Miss Kate Yanoff, who has an insurance company and a startup. What do you do for your client, Kate?
I work as a virtual assistant. I help her in meeting reminders, calendar management, also her social accounts. I manage all of her social accounts as well as her website. And lead generation, I help her with lead generation. I find leads for her. I call them and follow up them for like many times.
Awesome. Awesome. Hey, Christine, thanks so much for jumping on. Really appreciate you.
Thanks, Christine.
You're welcome.
All right.
Yo, Crystal, what's up?
Hello.
Are you there, Crystal? Crystal, what are you doing for our organization?
Yes.
We just actually, this is a Mark's VA. So
Nice.
So Crystal, what is it that you are doing for my organization? I've been working with her for about 3 weeks. She's gone through our training program. What kind of things do you know how to do, ma'am?
I'm working with your
We're having some tough connection over
I
there.
also work on follow-up leads.
Awesome. Hey, we lost you for a half a second. Can you repeat that, please? All right, looks like we're having some challenges with Crystal. Crystal, thanks so much for being on here. Really appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Crystal and Christine, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome.
All right. Hey, Ruby, we're finished. We're done. I just put the link and said, hey, everybody come in and say what's up real quick, just to get an idea of what people are like. Our Philippines team is up. Our Mexico, Colombia, and Jamaica team is off right now. So they typically work during the day.
That's awesome. Thanks, guys, for jumping on. Appreciate it.
Thank you,
You're welcome,
guys.
Mr. Nix. You're welcome.
So, Nick, do we got any more questions from the squad, man?
Let me take a look, man. See what we're working with here. Let's see here. Oh man, it looks like we got most of them right there.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah, man. Guys, if you guys want to, book a call, I've got the comment pinned. You can email him at frank@talentedmrsalvas.ph. Frank, man, always love having you on, dude. I always learn a ton. Love seeing what you're doing. Christine, Crystal, Ruby, guys, thank you guys so much for jumping on with us. And yeah, Frank, man, thanks so much, dude.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you later, man.
All right, thanks, guys. Take care.
All right, see ya.
You too, Sir Nix.